Nimrod
right?
himself.
And that's what I was gonna say, like just like Nimrod, because he's using him to gather all nations, you know, and mainly the nations of Israel, talking about the darker tribes, you know.
And even them Latins, man, they're into old Beezy as well. They're feeding them
because the niggas are simple, you know. That's why the scriptures say the simple believe every word, man. You niggas are simple, man.
Because Obama's like the fucking greatest guy they could ever have push this one world order. Because you could watch him and the way he talks is so fucking enticing with his witchcraft and shit. Like he's got all the swagger down pack and all that. You niggas are just so simple, man. You don't even see that it's all an act to just entice you. You're not reading between the lines and seeing that this guy ain't about nothing he's saying. Well, he's saying it all, actually. He's saying what he's about, but you're not reading into what he's saying.
Exactly, man. That's why the scriptures say, when the Lord cursed out the nation of Israel, he said, "Ye serpents and vipers," because you've got the actual serpent seed, which is the so-called white man, descendants of Esau, the Edomites, and then you've also got other people from other nations which are like have the characteristics of a serpent, which are serpentile men that beguile you with words, philosophies, doctrines, lies, to deceive you.
And that's what's happening, man. Nimrod's deceiving you people to your own destruction.
But like Nimrod was, he had to go down, you know. The Tower of Babel fell, so is this kingdom, man.
Okay, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season.
Right, man, and it's a little season right now, man. Because Esau, you know, he's ruled but 2 times, man. But in comparison to when we rule, we're gonna rule forever, man. So this is a short time in history, man.
That's right, man.
But Esau was bound up for 1,000 years, man. So we ruled.
And even like it, you just had these people, the French. They said that they're the first nation to accept the rebels in Syria as a new government, the Free Syrian Rebel Army movement, whatever they call themselves. But that's the same thing. They were also the first people to do that in Libya. And if you know anything about Libya, because brothers are diligent, you know that they've been fighting in Bani Walid for the past month, plus a month if anything. And then they've been fighting crazy. And Libya is basically up in flames, man. That place is just turned into a shithole far beyond what it was when Gaddafi was in control. So that shows you they're going through the same, they're running the same program over there, that democracy, the people rising up and taking over, making a democratic state. But the same thing's gonna happen in Syria, and that's that same deception that you're being fed, man.
Right, man.
Because you're foolish.
Drinking of his wine, man.
Yeah.
Right, and just like the brother was reading, man, that goes back into he can't keep at home, man. Showing you who it is, man. The characteristics of these so-called white people, man, which are biblically known as Edomites.
That's right. I'll go back to Habakkuk. I'll just read it from the top. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, and that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?
Right, man. So you've got this British racist group named the BNP, the British National Party. It's too late for all these different how can I put it, just groups, right, to establish themselves and to what's the word, to renew themselves as a nation of people. Okay, the time is up for that, man.
The BNP's new look seems a far cry from the old boots and bully boy image, but how fundamental are the changes that have taken place within the party? We uncovered increasing evidence of a secret, darker side to the BNP, in contrast to the public face that they're trying to present to the British electorate. Nick Griffin spoke at a private meeting of white nationalists in Texas. We've obtained a video of the speech. Beside Mr. Griffin sat David Duke. Mr. Duke is a former leader of the Ku Klux Klan, an organisation with a violent history of lynchings and murders of blacks. Nick Griffin confided in his right-wing audience that he and his party had a new strategy to sell their ideas to the British people.
There's a difference between selling out your ideas and selling your ideas. And the British National Party isn't about selling out its ideas, which are your ideas too, but we are determined now to sell them. And that means basically to use these saleable words, as I say, freedom, security, identity, democracy. Nobody can criticise them. Nobody can come at you and attack you on those ideas. They are saleable. Perhaps one day, once by being rather more subtle, we've got ourselves in a position where we control the British broadcasting media, then perhaps one day the British people might change their mind and say, yes, every last one must go. Perhaps they will one day. But if you hold that out as your sole aim to start with, you're going to get absolutely nowhere. So, instead of talking about racial purity, talk about identity.
So once again, the so-called New Style BNP is just a front run by old-style extremists.
But there's going to come a time where they're just going to try and blame the Jakes and say this is why the government's going to fail.
Like they always fucking do.
And they're just going to have one common enemy, which is all nations are going to think, oh, we hate the Jakes. But above hating us Jakes for a period of time, everyone's going to hate these Edomites. Because Esau's the one at the present time that's gone around everyone's country and stole their lands and raped their daughters and bombed their weddings. So they're gonna have hatred for the nation of Israel, but the Lord's gonna turn it to a time where everyone's gonna be looking at this so-called white man for all the crimes that he's committed
over the world, all over, man.
You know, and it's called recompense.
Even you got the last 24 hours, Gaza strips just popped up again. The war started. It's about to erupt into war, and basically it started with Israel striking that fucking Jewish rats, because they ain't the real Israel,
right?
And fake Israel, Israelis, started war with them Arab bastards by bombing their general, and then they basically, it's like a 1-to-5 ratio for death, because there's 3 people that died over in the state of Israel,
right? I was going to say that,
and then there was 15 that died in Gaza. But then one program I watched is just like saying Israel attacking Gaza is like taking an automatic shotgun, a gun, and shooting at fish in a fishbowl, because it's so small. It's pointless even trying to war with them. But they just basically, even what happened was there was one reporter that works for the BBC that basically got his 11-month-old daughter got killed in the crossfire. Well, no, it wasn't even crossfire, in the fire from Israel. So there's a lot of innocent people, if anything, all innocent people dying, and they're saying that supposedly the people in Hamas, in Gaza, they shot 125 mortar rockets over the border, and yet only 3 people just died the last couple hours. But no one died from the 125 attacks. So it just shows how deceiving Esau is, man, and how much of a devil he is. Because he's just about war and just taking down he just wants to. He's like a little a baby, a toddler boy with a fucking Lego land, man. You know, like with bare Lego blocks stacked up, and he just comes through his car.
Jenga.
Yeah, Jenga. Yeah, all of that.
So I'm gonna play a clip for you to look at this BMP people, and you can see how they use marketing or sell themselves or sell their ideas, and somewhat they try and incorporate it to be for not racist, and it can, you know, their ideals can be for everyone when that's not true. Take a look at this.
There's a difference between selling out your ideas and selling your ideas. And the British National Party isn't about selling out its ideas, which are your ideas too, but we are determined now to sell them. And that means basically to use these saleable words, as I say, freedom, security, identity, democracy. Nobody can criticise them. Nobody can come at you and attack you on those ideas. They are saleable. Perhaps one day, once by being rather more subtle, we've got ourselves in a position where we control the British broadcasting media, then perhaps one day the British people might change their mind and say, yes, every last one must go. Perhaps they will one day. But if you hold it out as your sole aim to start with, you're going to get absolutely nowhere.
So in Britain, we have a race group called the British National Party, as you just saw in the video. And you can ask any one of these so-called white people what the word British means, and they haven't got a clue. Yet still they want to call themselves British, or have a party called the British National Party, when they ain't the original inhabitants of Britain. And you know, the original inhabitants were ultimately Japhet, you know, but then us Israelites, we ruled Europe, man. So you know, we was all up in Britain.
And we were the ones that gave it the name Britain.
Right.
So they can't really call themselves British.
Right, because the word British, Britain, comes from the Hebrew word Barayaf Aim, which means covenant people. Got the scripture.
Yeah. Exodus 24:5. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood and sprinkled it on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people.
Right, what were those people, man? Who were the people that Moses saved from Egypt, man? They were Israelites. So what were the people that he was doing that with? It was the Israelites, yeah, as we read earlier on in Deuteronomy 7:6, the chosen people. There weren't anybody else. So back then there weren't no so-called white people either.
Because they were in Edom, and we passed through during the time of the wilderness. We passed by them, so they weren't with us. Same with Amalek. I really don't know. And they said, all that the Lord have said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord have made with you concerning all these words.
Right, so the covenant which is made with you, possessive, man. So he was speaking to a particular race of people, or a group of people, which was the nation of Israel, man. We weren't talking about any other people. So that was the covenant people, man, Israelites. So these Edomites ain't a part of that covenant, man. So they and you got the Americans as well, you know, because they went over to America, because they got race groups over there, and they never they weren't the original inhabitants of America either, man. Because and Israelites lived over there too. The tribe of Gad, the Native American Indians, okay,
Reuben, the Seminoles,